Hi, welcome to Yoga with Holly's Breathing Space. Really looking forward to talking you through this next class. Just remember that if anything hurts, please stop. There's nothing wrong with you, but not every pose is right for everyone, and it's really important that you practice in a safe and comfortable manner. Most importantly, let's just have fun. So we're going to start seated. If cross-legged doesn't feel great for you, you can have your legs out in front, that's absolutely fine. Sometimes it can feel nice to sit up on a yoga block, or if you don't have a yoga block, maybe a book. We're going to rest the hands down on the knees, ground across the sitting bones, close the eyes off, and just start to connect with your breathing. As you breathe, just notice where you feel the breath moving in your body. Perhaps around the nostrils, back of the throat. Or maybe you're drawn to the gentle rise and fall of the belly and chest. We're going to start 360-degree breath. So focusing on drawing the inhale down into the belly, up into the chest, and then a long, full exhale. As you breathe like this, think about feeling the breath coming down into the belly and up into the front, sides and back of the rib cage. Keeping the exhales long and calm. As we move throughout the practice, we're going to try and keep this beautiful deep breathing going. So we're just going to begin by blinking the eyes open. I'm starting to roll the shoulders back a little bit, getting some movement all around that lovely joint. And then bringing the legs out in front, giving them a little shake out. If their legs are extended, just keep them how they are. If it's comfortable, you want to cross your legs in the way that you didn't just have them crossed before. And then sit up nice and tall. Raise the right arm up on an inhale, and on an exhale, take a little lean over to the side. Try and rotate the upper part of the back towards the ceiling so you can get this really nice openness and look up under the arm. Come back to center. Lift the left arm up, lean over, looking up to the ceiling, reaching far through the left fingertip. And then come back to center, take both arms up. As you exhale, reach forwards and gently tuck your chin down. Doesn't matter how far down you come. Walk your hands over to the right. And over to the left. Bring the hands back to center, walk them back towards you. Just be careful with this next bit, don't throw your head all the way back. Bring the hands behind, lift the chest, look slightly up to the ceiling, and come back to center. We're going to bring the legs out in front, give them another little wake up, and then we're going to come over onto all fours. So, if you're in your living room and it's nice and carpeted, this should probably be alright for your knees. If, like me, you have this nice vinyl flooring, you might want to put that extra fold in the mat to support the knees. From here, you want to have your wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. push the floor away, push up in between the shoulder blades, tuck your ribs in. As you inhale, dip in the center of the back, lift collarbones and tailbone. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Inhale into cow pose. Exhale to cat. Move in your own time with your breath. And then feel free to let this movement be a little bit more playful. So maybe we're going to move the hips and the shoulders opposite directions and keep that kind of cow-cat undulation going, if that feels good for you. Perhaps you might take a little rotate around, maybe sink back towards a child's pose and come back up. Whatever feels good. Imagine that you're looking for little areas of stickiness in the back and you just want to unstick them by moving them slightly. And then coming to all fours again. We're going to take our knees nice and wide, bring our big toes towards one another and sink our hips back towards the heels, forehead to the mat. It may be that your hips don't come so close to the heels. If the knees don't like it, that's absolutely fine. Inhale, come up to all fours. Walk the hands a little bit further forward, spread the fingers, push that first knuckle down into the mat, lift the hips up, let the heels reach towards the floor in your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, and then maybe bend one knee, push the opposite heel down and change. And then let both heels reach for the floor. Try and lengthen up through the tailbone. And then start to walk the hands back towards the feet. And roll up to standing. And when you get to standing, just roll the shoulders back. Soften the knees. Let the arms flow side to side. Fantastic. And then come to the front of your mat. We're going to move through some half sun salutations. So you want to stand in Tadasana, your mountain pose, feet roughly under the hips, nice neutral spine. Inhale, reach up, and then maybe take a little back bend if that feels nice for your body. Exhale, soften through the knees as you fold. Inhale, arms to the side if there's space. Exhale down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to go through 3 more rounds of these. Just making sure that on that exhale your knees are soft, you're not locking your legs out, you're squeezing your glutes as you come halfway up, straight back. And when you've completed your 3 rounds, going to stand in your Tadasana. Really nice. And from here, we're going to come into Vrksasana, a tree pose. So when you stand really strong and grounded, just close the eyes for a moment and imagine yourself rooting into the earth through the feet. Feel the very top of the head reaching up to the sky. Let the shoulder blades gently run down the back. So we're going to bring the weight over to the right foot. We're going to lift the left knee. We're going to turn the knee to the side. We can have toes on the floor, heel to ankle. Sole of the foot below the knee, or you can bring that foot right up to the inner thigh. Have your hands at your heart. or reach them overhead. Keep breathing deeply. We're going to add some breath and movement here. So we're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the arms by the sides. Inhale up. Exhale, hands by the sides. 3 more breaths like this. Let your branches sway in the wind. This time we're going to reach our arms right up. And as you exhale, bring the hands down by the heart. Step that left foot down to the floor. Close the eyes, stand strong into Tadasana. Again, root through the feet. Breathe deeply. Find your connection, your grounding to the earth below you. Feel the top of the head reaching up towards the sky. Shift your weight to your left foot, blink your eyes open, find your focus point, your drishti, lifting the right knee. You can have toes on the floor, heel to ankle, sole of the foot below the knee, maybe bring it right up onto the inner thigh, and then have hands at heart or overhead. Being really careful not to put the sole of the foot against the knee joint or not put any pressure there. We're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale them up. Exhale them down. Connecting breath and movement 3 more times. Wobbling as normal. In fact, encouraged. This time we're going to reach really high and bring the hands to the heart. Step that foot down, and you can either carefully step your feet or you can take a little hop. Take the feet wider, turn your right foot to the right. If this back hip's feeling at all pinchy, just have a play with where your back foot is. Make sure that you're feeling comfortable. Bend into your right knee, gaze over your right middle fingernail. 2 things to watch. You want your glutes to be firing in this pose. You want your ribs to not flare, so you want to tuck them in. And then gaze over that middle finger. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. If you have any knee injuries or conditions, you can have slightly less of a bend. If not, you want to have that knee roughly in line with your ankle. And then we're going to come into our reverse warrior. So we're going to run the left hand down the left leg, reach the right arm high, turn the palm behind you. If it's okay in the neck, look up to the palm. If it's not, you can look straight ahead or maybe down at the floor. Check that your front knee is still bent, your ribs aren't flaring, your glutes are still active. Come back into your warrior. And then bring the right forearm to the front thigh, reach the left arm overhead. If you're a total beginner, maybe staying here. If you want to, lifting your right arm, just make sure you're using this whole side body to hold you here. And then come back to warrior 2. We're going to straighten the right leg, turn the toes in. Turn the left toes out, bend into the left knee. Gaze over that left middle fingernail. Warrior 2 on the other side. If at any point you're thinking this is too easy, you can shimmy that front foot further forward. If it's too much, you can bring it back in. And we're going to run the right hand down the right leg, lift the left arm overhead. Reverse warrior. And come back to warrior two. Bring your left forearm to the thigh, reach right arm overhead. Look up under that armpit if it's okay to do so, if not, straight ahead, down at the floor. You might lift your left arm up as well, really using your core muscles to hold you here, find length, reach through the fingers, and come back to your warrior two. Straighten your left leg, turn your toes and lower your arms, roll your shoulders, and then turn your toes outwards. Bring your hands to the heart to start with, sink down into a goddess squat. So you still want your tailbone a little bit out, because that's the way tailbones like to be, but you don't want to kind of fully pop your buttocks backwards. You want to squeeze your glutes and come nice and low. Take the arms out the side, cactus arms. And now I want you to push your elbows forward, draw your whole forearms back, open up the shoulders, deep inhale, exhale full. Straighten up, turn the toes in, take the arms out either side. And then we're going to turn the right foot to the right and the left foot round to the right. And we're going to bring the hands down over that right knee. Bring the left knee down. If you want to, you can put a double fold in the mat underneath it. We're going to inhale, come up into a lunge. Breathe deeply. In this position, your glute must be active. Your ribs must be tucking themselves in like this. Push really firmly into that front foot. From here, gently bring the hands down. We're going to come into a plank position. So you want to push the floor away. Pull your head up so it's not falling down. Squeeze the glutes. Lower the knees. You can use your forearms if you need to. Lower your chest. Draw the shoulders back. Inhale, cobra. Tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 more lovely deep breaths here. And then bring the knees down. Step your right foot forward. Left foot forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, so we're going to come into Natha dancer pose here. I'm going to show this one side on. So we're going to stand nice and tall. We're going to bring the weight to the right foot and lift the left knee up. Reach the left arm back. Maybe take the right arm high. You want to really activate through your hamstring and your glute to bring that heel up before you take hold of your foot. And then you want to give me a thumbs up like this. That helps to open your pectoral muscle more. From here, take the inside edge of the foot by the big toe, and you might come a little higher into your dancer pose. And then slowly release. And take a nice deep breath. That was fantastic. We're going to bring the weight to the left foot, lift the right knee up, I'm assuming. If it was a bit wobbly, you can pause it and try again. And we're going to take our right arm back, left arm high. Start to activate the glute, lift that leg as high as you can behind you. This is called active range of flexibility that we're working on here. And then when you take the foot and give it some assistance, that's your passive range, which normally is a little bit greater than the active range. Wobbling is good. And then we're going to slowly release. Put the foot down. Roll the shoulders back. You can step or hop your feet wide. And we're going to turn our left toes out. Bend into our left knee. Find our warrior two on this side. Nice deep breaths here. Check in with your back arm. Sometimes it does this. Try and bring it up. And then also it can really help to hunch your shoulders up and draw them down and feel nice, slide of the shoulder blades down the back of the ribs. We're going to straighten that left leg, reach the heart forwards. Do not fall forward, so imagine there's a wall behind you and you're on it. And then as you rotate down, reach your right arm high. You can rest this hand on this lower leg, but try not to sort of grab it or use it for support. As you next inhale, bend into that left knee, come back to your warrior. Straighten your leg, turn your toes in. Turn both toes out. Come back to goddess pose. Sink nice and low. Feel your booty working. And then take your elbows out to the sides. Nice inhale. Full exhale. Straighten up. Turn your right toes out. Bend into your right knee. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten your right leg, reach your heart forward. Remember, don't fall forwards, don't grab the right leg, reach the left arm high. You can look up to the thumb, or if it feels better in your neck, you can keep it in line with the spine so you look straight ahead. Coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale, bending into that right knee. Warrior 2. Straighten that leg, turn the toes in, lower the arms. Turn your left foot out, turn your right foot round. Bring the hands down. Bring the back knee down. From here, come up into your lunge. Squeeze the glutes, tuck the ribs in. Reach high. Slowly bring the hands down, find plank again. So there are two things people normally do. One is this kind of bum really high thing. If that's you, just try and bring your hips a bit low. You might feel your core have to work here. The other is this kind of drooping. That's normally a bit of weakness in the shoulders, so you want to really push up in between the shoulder blades. Lower the knees. Lower your chest down. Inhale, draw your shoulders back, look forwards. Squeeze your glutes in cobra pose. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Three lovely deep breaths here. Bring the knees down, bring left foot forward, right foot forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. If you have knee, hip or back injuries or conditions, very gently bring yourself down to the mat. If it feels okay, you can cross one foot over the other. Have your hands at your heart and slowly come down into a cross-legged position. Once you're here, take your legs out wide, turn your toes towards the ceiling, sit up really tall. Clasp the fingers. As you inhale, come round right to left. Keep the activation in the legs. Exhale through center. Inhale round. Exhale back. This is called churning the mill. Really lovely exercise for stretching out the hips, a little bit into the lower back. If you find it quite hard to sit in this position, you can always again get your block or your books to sit up on. And we'll go back the other way. And we'll come to center. I want you to just release the fingers, run the right hand down the right leg, reach the left arm over, look up to the ceiling. Coming back to center, left arm down the left leg, right arm overhead. And then come back to center. And maybe, especially if you're sitting up on the blocks, you're going to think this is enough of a stretch on the inner thighs here. It might be that it's comfortable for you to come a little bit further, that's fine too, but keep imagining this strength in the quads, pulling the legs in, keeping the toes up towards the ceiling. And then walk the hands back, bring the knees in, give them a hug, rock side to side. And then come to the top of your mat, and we're going to very gently roll down to lie on the mat. We can do a little bit of core work, and then we're going to stretch out the glutes. So we're going to bring the knees up, engage the abs so your back is gently supported against the floor. Reach your fingertips towards the ceiling. On an inhale, take your right hand and your left leg down towards the floor, and then back in. Take left hand, right leg down. Don't let them touch the floor. Don't let your back arch up off the mat. This is a really good way of strengthening the core whilst also supporting your back. There are loads of options, so you can stick with this one if that feels hard enough. Or you can go for both arms, both legs. Or you could go for a shoulders off the mat version, which is a little bit, again, trickier. All options. And then we're just going to hug the knees in, rock from side to side. Bring the hands down by the sides, reach the heels towards the ceiling. It might be that the hamstrings are a little bit tight and that the heels won't go straight up. Just wherever you're at on this is going to be fine. We're going to take right heel down towards the floor, hover it just off, point the toes, lift it back up. Left heel just off the floor, point the toes, bring it back up. You can stay with the single leg raises, or if you think you'd like to, you can go for double. We'll do... Normally I would get you to choose a number between 1 and 5, but as we're virtual, I'll say we'll do another 2. And then bring the feet to the floor. Extend the legs away, reach the arms overhead. Whole body stretch. And then bring your feet onto the floor. Bring your right ankle onto your left knee. You can stay here if you already feel a stretch in your glute and hamstring, or draw that left leg in and hold behind the hamstring. If you want to put a pillow under your head during this exercise, that can feel really nice and supportive here. Try to reconnect with that full 360-degree breath we practiced at the start of the session. And then slowly bring your left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor. Bring your left ankle to your right knee, left knee to the side, and then maybe draw the right leg, and maybe not. If you end up like this, quite a lot of people end up like that, just relax it down, stay where it feels comfortable. And then bring your awareness just to the hips a little bit, making sure that one isn't lifting more than the other. Make sure you can still feel your tailbone gently resting down on the mat. And then bring both feet down. Bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees come out either side. You can interlace your fingers, turn the palms out, take them overhead, or you can just bend at the elbows a little bit and rest them down. Whatever feels nicest for your shoulders right now. This is Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined cobblers. You can soften the gaze or close the eyes and just take a few deep breaths here. And then releasing the fingers, bring the arms down by the sides, bring the knees back up. You can lie with your knees bent or with your legs extended out, resting the arms by the sides. If you want to pause the video, grab a blanket, maybe have some water, because we're going to come into our Shavasana, our relaxation. Take all the time you need to fidget around and get comfortable here. Take the time to connect with your breathing, letting go of any overly controlled breath and just coming back to a natural rhythm. If your mind wanders away, each time you notice this has happened, bring your focus back. Bring your awareness down to your feet. Relax all your toes, soles of the feet, heels, ankles. Relax your shins and your calves. Relax your knees, thighs, hamstrings, hips and buttocks. Let the whole lower body be heavy and peaceful. Relax your belly and your chest. Relax your whole back and entire spine. Soften and relax your hands, all the fingers, thumbs, palms, backs of hands. Relax both arms and shoulders. Relax your face, forehead, eyes, jaw. Relax the back and the top of the head. Relax the whole body. Relax the whole body. Relax the whole body. And very slowly and gently come back into yourself. Move your fingers and your toes. Turn your head from side to side. Reach your arms up and overhead. Stretch your whole body. Maybe bring the knees into the chest. Give them a nice hug. Rock side to side. And then bringing the feet down. Roll to one side. Push the ground away when you're ready, coming up to any comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for practicing with me. We're just going to close the session with a lovely deep breath together. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling thumbs by the forehead, kind thoughts, lips, kind words, and heart, kind intention. Namaste.